Eli in Oklahoma City. Eli, you're live with Eric and Zod. What would you like to talk about?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Hey, doing good, man. Well, what do you want to talk about today?
Good. So I've got two things for you. I have a quick update on some advice that you guys gave me back in February, you and V, actually.
Okay.
And then I also have a question, so I'll try not to take too much of your time.
Sure.
So, yeah, back in February, we talked about the angry atheist phase, and at that point I was felt like I was coming at the tail end, and you guys just gave me some advice for how to deal with that, and maybe channel that into a more constructive place. I had also asked you about, is it worth it to reach out to your, former church members and people that you knew prior to getting out of the cult?
Yes, I remember this call.
Yeah. I think I also thanked you on keeping your teeth after the witchcraft fiasco. So, congrats again.
Oh, thank you.
So you guys advised me, hey, definitely a good idea, but, do what's best for you. If you feel like it's worth it, go for it. I have had a lot of positive results with that. There's been somewhere I feel like I'm talking to the religion and not the person. So those things have hasn't crashed and burned, but it's kind of petered out because there's only so far you can go trying to be friends with someone's religion.
Sure.
I have had some, though, that have been very, very positive and been able to reconnect with people and sort of keep the friendship going and just kind of connect as humans and not cultists. So that's great. So really wanted to thank you guys for that. Additionally, I took your advice, and actually as of I believe a week ago, I finished my interview with Recovering from Religion, and I started my training. So
okay.
I'm going to be volunteering with them.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. So super stoked about that. You guys really, really helped me get to a place where I was able to do that. Kind of get through the healing process as much as I could and then turn around and give back. So really, really thankful for that. You guys are awesome. Cool.
Thank you. And just for people who don't know, if you look in the live chat right now, there are links. Please consider going to Recovering from Religion. They need help, especially when it comes to the Hotline Project. There are people out there who need someone to talk to, and they will train you. It is a peer support line that helps give people resources where they are. And if they don't have access to those resources locally, what resources that they can get online. If you have the time, please check out Recovering from Religion because what they're doing is fantastic. Okay, Eli, go ahead. Just needed to throw in the pitch.
Oh, yes, of course. I think it's only a few hours a month, too, required, and then you can take more if you want. So, yeah, good thing to be a part of. Yes, okay, question time. So, my thing now is, so you guys really helped me move from kind of the end of that initial impact, and now I'm in, kind of the zone that we talked about. I wanted to know, you guys personally, Eric and Zod, how do you guys deal with just kind of, think of it maybe as vestiges of the times when you were religious, ways that you thought, just kind of like programmed responses and things like that. Quick example, just to make sense. So I was pretty homophobic because I was raised in the Southern Baptist Church and indoctrinated from a very, very young age. Even after, in my head, when I realized, hey, there's nothing wrong with this, I have friends who are gay, and transgender friends and stuff like that, there was still this lingering knee-jerk reaction, like if I'd see like a gay couple kissing or something like that. And I would get really upset at myself, and I would just feel, I feel really defeated because I feel like even when I'm out, my brain isn't quite there with me yet. Stuff like that, man. It's kind of those mornings when you wake up and you don't expect to be hit with something, some feeling or some memory, or in fact, we were having sort of a. Are you familiar with Sharknado? And I swear this makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
So okay, great. So we basically had a Sharknado party with some friends, but we were watching a cringy Christian movie. And so the idea was we'd come over and we'd sort of just like relax and talk shit and make jokes during the movie and stuff like that, just hanging out. And so just some things were said in the movie and just kind of some stuff that I've been hearing my whole life, and just the way that people were either dismissed or treated, or there's even like some spousal abuse in the movie that was not presented as spousal abuse. So it kind of got to the point where I just I had to shut down and kind of leave the room and do my own thing. And sort of this fun night for me turned into sort of nightmare for a minute. It was really weird. So with stuff like that, how do you guys handle that ongoing deconstruction?
Sure. Zod, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think there are several aspects to it. And I think the first thing you have to do is have patience with yourself and recognize it's not going to be a quick process. A lot of stuff is really deeply hardwired in your head. And when you're having a conversation when you're talking to someone from your past and you feel like you're having a conversation with a religion, not the person, there's a reason, which is that that's so hardwired in them. And it's hardwired in you as well, even if you have consciously decided to let it go. So I would say first, just give yourself time and recognize it will be a process. Don't be in a huge hurry and don't beat yourself up or have too much anxiety over every thought that enters into your head. But like somebody actually had been a Christian when I was younger said, you can't keep birds from landing on your head, but you can stop them from building a nest. I find that to be a really good analogy. It's going to pop in. That's not your fault if it pops into your head, but recognizing what it is and dealing with it without beating yourself up and without getting too anxious, just consciously reinvent your thought patterns and how you process that once it enters your head. And I think just through practice, that'll slowly change what your initial impressions are going to be. The other thing is just participate in community and watch materials from non-believers. That was a huge thing for me. I watched a lot of the earlier atheist YouTubers when I was coming out of the faith. And it just reinvents how you think about everything, and consciously thinking about morality and why we're moral and stuff, and just rebuilding that from the ground up. It's a process, but you just have to take it step by step and just don't get too worked up when things don't go well. My journey was a bit different from yours in that I probably first started experiencing doubts when I was in my early 20s. And I would consider myself somewhere between a heavy doubter and a closeted non-believer for 10 to 15 years of my Christian life. And because of various family entrapments, I didn't let go. And so I actually processed a lot of that stuff. I was not knee-jerk homophobic, not a lot of these things when I was still calling myself a Christian and probably still was a Christian. So I really didn't have to wrestle with it in the same way, but I still did address or have to deal with a lot of these things as a non-believer. And I just say, take time and let things slowly be reinvented in your mind. It's not a quick process at all. And it's not your fault that it's not a quick process.
Agreed.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. It also, if it helps, think about how you would hold someone else accountable for those thoughts. Would you beat somebody up for still working through their indoctrination? How patient would you be for them, and how patient are you letting yourself be to yourself? No. It's important.
Yeah.
Man. Your well-being is important, and it does. Like Zod said, it takes a lot of time, and I've been out for a long time, and I still find vestiges of my faith in so many weird and wonky ways. Gosh, I remember for a very long time, I would still adamantly hold up tenets of Christian faith, even after I left it. Well, that's not a true Christian. And it's like, wait a second, no, what am I doing? It took so long to get the word cafeteria Christian out of my head as a pejorative. Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I experienced the other day.
Or the idea that you're strong in your faith, you're weak in your faith. All of these different. How's your walk, Eli? How's your walk? Oh, it takes. It's cringy, but it takes time. It takes time. All I want to do is underscore what Zod just said, because entirely agreed.
And I have the benefit of having been annoyed by all that for most of my time as a Christian.
Lucky dog.
Somebody saying, "How's your mock walk?" made me just want to shrivel up and die. It just grated on every nerve. And so that was even before I would consider myself close to a doubter. So a lot of that stuff, somehow I just don't think I was ever really that compatible with a lot of the practices of Christianity. And so a lot of it shut off me easier than other people. But that's not a virtue on my part. That's just kind of my wiring and how I interacted with my faith. So if it's different for you and takes more time with you, I would just echo what Eric said. A lot of people you love are the victims of bad ideas, right? And you're not going to look down on them or treat them badly for that. You're just still a victim of bad ideas, and you're consciously trying to come out of that. So that in and of itself is doing the right thing. You're not to blame if some of those bad ideas linger and you have to fight them off. You just have a harder battle.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully that helps, man. I'm really happy to hear that you called back and checked in. I'm reading in the live chat, a lot of people really resonate with what you're saying. And it's good. It's good that you called back. It's good that you followed up, because it's not just helping you, it's helping other people go, hey, I'm not alone. So thank you for calling.
Totally. Man, let me tell you something. You guys are phenomenal. Eric, Zod, V, all the other hosts, the crew. Shit, man. I'm not exaggerating when I say that you guys and your organization saved my life and helped me reclaim my life. I really cannot tell you how appreciative I am for all you guys and what you do.
Oh, we're sending you love rings. The crew's sending you love rings.
Yay, sending them right back. Right back.
Eli, take care of yourself, brother.
You too, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, that gave me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah. It's amazing when any of us tell our stories about our time as a Christian or after, there's so much. It's just exactly the same. And there's a lot of little things when we're just in our own heads and not talking to other people, we think it's just us. And we think there was maybe something wrong with us as a believer, especially when you're going through doubts as a believer. You think there's something wrong with you. This is just me. Everybody else has it together. And then even when you're a non-believer, I think you can have the same thing. I'm struggling with all these Christian things. And so when you just simply hear other Christians or former Christian stories, you recognize that this is just a common thing we all go through.
Yep. So actually, that's part of my own personal mantra is this nihilist take on it, that you're just not that special. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful. We're not so uniquely unqualified or unable or having problems. We're in it together. So cheers.